What's going on, everybody? Matt here. So today's going to be my first review on Hunter x Hunter, a new series I'm starting on the channel reviewing this show. But before we jump into this review, make sure to go down below, hit the subscribe button. You will want to do that to make sure you're keeping up with every review, and more anime videos will be coming in the future, so you will want to go down below, subscribe. But let's jump into the review. So Hunter x Hunter, this is a series I've been wanting to start for a while. It just looked amazing and I'm glad I'm finally watching it. I just want to give kind of a breakdown on how I'm going to be doing these reviews, how this one's going to be broken down, and how you'll expect the future ones. Since Hunter x Hunter is a very long series with about 150 episodes, I'd figured the best way to break it down and do each review would be by arcs. So in this review, it's going to be a review of the exam arc, which is episodes 1 to 21, I believe, and it's a really good place just to stop and just kind of give my thoughts before I move on to the next arcs. And I believe the next arcs are shorter, so I might combine those reviews, but for this review alone, it's going to be the exam arc. I'm just going to jump into this review by saying that I'm already enjoying this show quite a bit. It's very fun so far, and I kind of figured this would be a show that I would like. I'm really enjoying like the animation style, the music, just the characters, the world that we've seen so far. It's all great so far, and these first 20 episodes did not disappoint. I would say my immediate reaction to like that first episode was it gave me fairy tale vibes, it gave me Pokemon vibes, like both the animation and just kind of like the fun storytelling and the fun characters. I don't know, that's kind of just where my brain went right away, was like Pokemon and Fairy Tail. That's what I'm getting from this show so far. I would say my favorite two characters out of the main four are probably Gon and Leorio. I think they are just my favorite so far, and I really enjoy those two. My least favorite character of the four right now is Kurapika. Not saying he's a bad character, I just feel like there's a lot more to him that we'll learn in the future arcs, and I think as he develops, he'll grow on me a little bit more. But out of the four right now, he's my least favorite. I want to take this time to touch on each character individually. Gon is such a fun protagonist to follow throughout the story. He's so caring, so kind, so friendly, so determined. He goes out of his way to make sure his friends are safe, they are succeeding with him, that he's not leaving them behind, that they're all doing this together, and he's very team oriented. And you could just tell that he cares so much about his friends, and he stays very determined to whatever goal he set out to do. Like if he puts his mind to something, he will not stop until he succeeds. Gon is just such a fun protagonist so far, and I just can't wait to see more of his journey, him becoming a better hunter, and him figuring out like where his father is and finding his father, because that mysterious backstory with his father is just very intriguing so far. As for Kurapika's a very strong character, very tough. I would say he uses his brain a lot in trying to figure out like what the right answer is in a certain situation. He also cares much about his friends and is always looking out for them. I like the whole red eye aspect of his character. Like when he gets emotional, his eyes turn to like this ruby color, and I think he grows like incredibly stronger when his eyes are in that color and when he's like emotional like that, because it does seem like he's like exponentially stronger in that state. Kurapika's a great character so far. I think we'll learn a lot more during the Phantom Troop arc and when we get into that story, because he does have ties to that with his backstory, so I can't wait to see that. So Killua, I'm probably saying that wrong, but Killua is a great character so far. I like his backstory a lot, how he's from a family of assassins, which is just like really intriguing, but he's also incredibly powerful. And him coming from a family of assassins just makes him so strong, and we see him kill multiple people, which is just shocking. I did not expect him to kill a lot of people like that, but he did. Like when he first appeared, I was like, okay, what's the backstory of this kid? Like how's he like this like strong? Like I understand like how Gon is so strong, but how's this kid so strong? And then you learn he's from a family of assassins, and then you see him kill people on the airship. And that scene where he kills the two people on the airship was incredibly done. I like how it's silent and you just see him just kill the people with like those razor sharp claws he has, and it was just like, it was kind of a cool moment, but I was just like, damn, this kid's powerful. But I feel bad for Killua because we see the hardships that comes with being from a family of assassins. Like in the later episodes of this arc, his brother actually is one of the contestants, we find out, and his brother's like, we raised you to be an assassin, you're a killer, you won't have any friends, you don't have any, you can't make friends. I'm just like, damn, that hit hard. But also at the same time, there's no truth to that, because Killua already made a friend with Gon, even though he doesn't even realize that yet. But you know, his brother's wrong. He does have friends and he can make friends. Killua is a great character so far. I can't wait to see more of his story. And him and Gon are just such a great dynamic duo. I like how like they're the same age and just the way they play off of each other and the way that their friendship is. They're just great characters. So Killua, great character so far. Leorio's another great character so far. I like his explosive personality, how he's kind of hot-tempered, how he just like will burst out and say something, whatever's on his mind in a certain situation. I also like how he tends to overthink everything. It's like the right answer might be right in front of him, yet he'll overthink it and just like tend to like, you know, maybe it's this way, maybe it's that way. It's just like, okay, it's right there, go and everybody else could see it, but you tend to overthink everything. He's just a fun character so far. I like his like comedic aspect that he brings to the show, and he's just so fun. Every time he's on screen interacting with people, it's just fun, and I just really enjoy his character so far. The final character I want to talk about for just a minute is Hisoka, because Hisoka is a very mysterious character that I still don't know his role in the story. He's a very strong character. We see that right away. He like invokes fear into his like rivals, opponents, whatever you want to say. But also there's like this respect he has for people. Like if you do something right that he likes or he sees something in you, he has like respect for you and he won't kill you basically. Like there were times where he could have killed Leorio or Gon, but he didn't out of like this respect. He's just really interesting overall. There's so much more I don't know about his character that I hope I learn. And I feel like there's a reason why he's doing everything that he wants to be a hunter. The reason he's watching Gon and protecting him. Like, I just want to know. He's so mysterious. I just want to know more about his character, and I'm excited to see his role in the story. Speaking of the story, it's time to jump into the story of this first arc. I really like how the series just kicked off right away, showing us where Gon came from, but then just sending him right on his way. We see that he's following in the footsteps of his father, and that's really cool to see. He meets up with Leorio and Kurapika right away on the boat, and I like how the story doesn't stall. It just forms that friendship right away, and it just kicks us into this adventure right in the first episode, which is great to see. As for the Hunter exam part of the story, I like seeing the different obstacles the characters had to go through. The first phase or trial was keeping up with the examiner or the instructor, and it was just like an endurance test, I guess you could say. I would say like the first part of this phase wasn't the most interesting, but I do like how like it established Gon and Killua's friendship, how like they just kept running and racing each other, but I wouldn't say it's like the most interesting part of the exam. The second part of this first phase was much more interesting because they were like in this like overcast foggy forest with a lot of like different like traps and whatnot, and we saw Hisoka like, you know, killing people, and then Gon protecting Leorio. I like how they made this part of the phase a little more interesting with the different obstacles and then all the Hisoka stuff happening throughout. The second portion of the exam was the cooking phase, which again wasn't the most interesting, but there were parts of it I did like. I like seeing Gon and Killua take on the chairman and how they were trying to capture the ball from him or take the ball from him on the airship. It created for some cool moments where we saw like Gon and Killua get so close to stealing the ball, the different strategies they used. And I like seeing Killua use like that duplication power thing he used just to trick him, but obviously it didn't work. I would say that whole episode where they're trying to capture the ball from the chairman is when I really got hooked because, you know, you just saw them so determined. We learned more about the characters, and I just really wanted to see where the story went from there. So I'd say that episode is really when I got hooked on the show. After they finished the second phase of the exam, they moved on to the third phase, which was that trick tower. Now I really like this portion of the exam. I like the whole like puzzle aspect throughout it and how they had to work as like a team, how it was like you all had to vote, and if majority wins, that's where you go or that's what you do. I like the whole trial of our characters versus the prison inmates and how each character had like a different scenario presented to them, whether it's like which candle will burn first or a fight or like gambling. I just like that whole aspect. I was on the edge of my seat for a lot of the different challenges, mostly the candle one, because I was yelling at Gon, blow out the candle, blow out the candle. I'm like, it's so easy. And then he did. I was like, thank you. Killua's match caught me off guard. I thought he was going to actually like fight him, but no, he just ripped out his heart. And I was just like, oh wow. And he's like, yeah, my dad could do it without any blood. I'm like, all right, good to know. I'll keep that in the back of my mind. This whole phase of the exam ended with them barely getting out and go and figure out a way, you know, we'll go through the one door and then break down the wall and jump to the other side. I'm like, great plan, love it, and they all passed, so that was great. The fourth phase in the exam was super enjoyable, just had some great moments, and basically what it was like a manhunt type situation where the characters were assigned someone and they had to steal that person's badge number. I like seeing the different strategies and approaches our characters took to the task. You have Gon, who was just so like focused, so just in the zone, just trying to do his best to be stealthy and try and capture Hisoka's card, while you have Killua, who's just a total opposite, who just, not giving any care to the situation. He's just minding his own business, just walking through the forest with no care whatsoever. And it was just kind of funny seeing how these characters took totally different approaches to the situation. But there were some great moments in here. There was the Hisoka and Gon stuff where Hisoka basically gave him the badges. I'm just like, okay, that was kind of shocking. And then you had like the whole snake charmer situation where they found the poison in a dude's shirt, and it was just super lucky for them. But overall, this phase of the exam was super enjoyable to me. The final phase of the exam was the tournament, which was kind of just set up in a weird way by the chairman, and it created for some very interesting moments in the story. First, you have Gon versus his opponent, and his opponent actually forfeited the match, giving Gon the win to move on and actually become a hunter. After his fight, Gon actually goes unconscious and he misses the rest of the fights, and that's when we find out when he wakes up that Killua was the one who actually got eliminated because he killed someone. I'm just like, oh wow, did not see that coming. So basically what happened was we find out that Killua's brother was actually the dude with like all the pins in his head, and he manipulated Killua into killing the opponent he was against, which led to his disqualification. And that was just shocking to me. I did not expect that in this story. I did not expect Pin Guy to be Killua's brother, but he was. And this led Killua, obviously, to be disqualified, and he ended up going home. And this arc of the story actually ended with a few different things happening. One, you have Gon, Leorio, and Kurapika receiving their hunter licenses, becoming official hunters. The one examiner from the first phase with like the pink hair and the mustache, he actually talks to Gon for a little bit about his father, and he also reveals that the real exam is just beginning, and that just leaves me with a lot of questions in regards to the hunter exam in general. What did they just do? And what's this bigger thing? What's this bigger exam? It's just, I don't know, that's a huge question that I have going into the future of the show, is like, what's this real exam he's talking about? And the episode ultimately ends on this very lighthearted note with the three characters going off to Killua's home to go rescue him. And I gotta say, I really like how this episode ended. It just ended on the right note, and it just was a great place to end. And overall, I enjoyed the exam arc a lot. I thought it was super fun, just so many different twists throughout it, and just fun moments, enjoyable moments. I love the characters that were introduced, and it set up a good amount of questions for the future, and I'm just excited to see where the story goes overall. This arc did not disappoint at all. I'm excited to see the world, see what else this world has to offer. I'm excited to see these characters take the journey into becoming better hunters, and just see where they go from this point on. Overall, the exam arc was a great introduction into the story of Hunter x Hunter, and I just think it was a blast overall. I had a good time watching these 21 episodes, and they did not disappoint, as I said. If I had to give this first arc a rating, I'd give it a rating of around like a 8.3, 8.4. It did a really good job setting up a lot of things, introducing us to the characters in the world, but I feel like there's so much more it could do. So I think that's a fair rating. I'm just super excited to keep watching, keep seeing these characters develop. And yeah, so I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to end the review here. If you guys did enjoy this review and want to see more Hunter x Hunter, make sure to go down below and subscribe just so you're up to date, so you know when videos come out. And also, while you're down there, hit the like button because it does help me know that you guys are liking these videos. But that's going to end this review. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.